Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. The leopard in the tree is here. Spam it, chat. This is one of my favorite shows on the week to make. You get me? The Liverpool stream, Liverpool show, where we just sit here and talk about Daji, our club, you know. So we're here to talk about my club, Liverpool Football Club, you know, and there's a lot for us to discuss. We finally beat Real Madrid, finally beat them. And we're taking on Manchester City this Sunday. Konate is injured, but Trent is back. Macallister probably had his best game all season long against Real Madrid. It was absolutely fantastic. And we're going to be previewing the Manchester City game. Big up to every single one of you guys. Please do make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Do make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. And let me introduce today's panelists, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I have to introduce the across the pond or across the continents version of myself, you know. So, you know, there's two people on the stream that are emotionally uncontrollable when it comes to Liverpool Football Club. Myself and this man. I like Jamie is in the building. How you doing, Jamie, man? You're on mute. See, that mistake I've never made.
Uncontrollably wrong there, ain't I? That's
Big up Jamie, man. And big up to Jamie as well earlier on for the raid. Guys, all the guys that are on the channel today, all their channels are in the description. Every single one of them. So you can go show them love, show them some support as well. Joining us on the channel as well, Kelleher's biggest fan. You know, I think he has a Kelleher poster in his room, to be honest with you. And after that penalty save against Mbappe, slowly I'm thinking I'm going to start Kelleher this Sunday. Man, like Kmack is in the building. How you doing, Kmack, man?
I'm even wearing green for the Irish.
It definitely is giving Kelleher vibes right there.
I'm good. I've been on that train.
You have been, to be fair. I still remember the first time you brought this up. I think this was like, what, probably 2 weeks ago now? No,
Yeah,
not 2 weeks ago.
I've been slaughtered for it ever since, mate.
Yeah. The Kelleher train is well and truly driven by a man like Kmack. Big up to you, my guy. Big up to next up. Speaking across the pond, you know, LA Mike in the cut, rocking the mustache, the Federer hat. Man like Mike is in the building. Hi, Mike.
You usually bring me up last. This is strange. This is out of order. But big up everybody. Like, subscribe, and yeah, let's go.
Big up to you. Joining us next is the fashion icon of the Liverpool YouTube Twitter sphere. You get me, of the area code. You get me. Today he actually is dressed properly, unlike the stream on the terrace where he rocked up with a scarf and colors just don't match at all whatsoever. Today he's back. You get me. Raks is in the building. Hi, Raks.
Hello. First of all, I'm going to question your eyesight. I don't think anyone can take that comment seriously about my scarf. Can you put the overlay? Can you put the overlay back up? The one that we start the stream with.
Yes.
Oh, who's that in the top right-hand corner? Is that me?
No, that's Ram. Ram was supposed to be here as well, by the way. I think he bottled it.
So where am I?
Oh my God, Val, wow, Val. Wow, Val, you fraud.
You don't even check the thumbnails, Hussam? Come on, that's lazy.
Listen, I trust Val, but clearly that's the wrong thing to do.
Just saying.
Clearly that's the wrong thing to do. Why did you know that now? And by the way, guys, just for non-cancelable purposes,
all Indian people, we all look the same. You see, that's what it is.
Guys, Val is
we went there.
Hi guys, I have to clarify. This is a crazy era of wokeism. Guys, Val is Sri Lankan. So you get me? He's from the region and he made the mistake, not me. I can't even use Microsoft Paint.
Deflect the blame. Okay.
No.
It's literally here.
It's all good. It's all good.
See?
I can vouch.
You know what it is?
He can't use Microsoft Paint.
You know what it is? Sam always gives me such unique introductions. I don't actually need to be on the overlay, so it's all good.
Can we just bring back Anfield and stop getting me cancelled? And joining us last but not least, he just woke up from his nap to join us. But I love speaking football to this guy because I feel like we share a lot of similar views as well. So obviously he knows ball in it. Man, like JJ is in the building. Hi, JJ.
Of course. Mute, of course. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, happy to be on. Appreciate the introduction. Yeah, just to support you, Sam. Rak, it's the same thing, man. Do you know what I mean? Representation.
Thank you.
See? Representation that you want. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, happy to be on. And yeah, I always need my nap before this show, man, because otherwise I'm up at 5 a.m. Do you know what I mean? I'll be finished. So just needs to run.
By the way, guys, for the people who don't know, Jerry is actually a football coach. So is Ends as well. So they're really busy on Saturdays and Sundays. So yeah, like obviously him joining us today is thank you for joining us, of course, jokes aside. Guys, in the description, Raks's Twitter, go follow him. Jamie, Liverpool Chats, in the description, go subscribe. Go subscribe to Kmack's channel, it's also in the description. Go subscribe to the Jerry James show, it's also in the description. And subscribe to Mike Das LFC. I know he only has one FIFA video. One day he's going to grow up and actually do some football content. So you can subscribe to his channel when he decides to do that.
This guy.
You get me? But just quickly, since the Liverpool topic, I know Adam brought this up earlier. Listen, I didn't hear Craig's comments, but Craig did send me an email. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to change myself for anyone. During the game, as per usual, on any watch along, as per usual, anyone who does like watch along related content will know. Listen, sometimes your emotions get the best of you. Sometimes you get mad, which is normal. And I did call, I did call Robertson a Braveheart. See you next Tuesday. So yeah, I mean, when you're 1-0 up against Real Madrid, you concede a stupid penalty like that. Then I'm not just gonna go like, yeah, well done, Robertson. So. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna change who I am for anyone. We spoke about a collaboration. He said yes, but just because the guys keep asking me, obviously, but because of my comments during the watch along, he changed his mind, and that's fine. And I saw some people in the community as well, in his community, making comments and kind of taking it personally, like, "Wow, you insulted the player." Guys, this utter woke nonsense is just BS. To be honest,
hey, whoa! What did you actually say wrong?
Wow.
Thank you. I didn't say anything wrong.
Well, if you said that, then I'm fucked. I'm just.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. People who used to watch football 10 years ago, we used to insult. What do you think? Imagine I was doing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some people get emotional.
Imagine I was doing watch along for the Konchesky era. I was insulting Konchesky's mom in the stands. Like it's just man. So big up regardless. But anyway, listen, it is what it is. The support of the people, the community continues to grow. You know, alhamdulillah, we've done it 3 years. With the help of the incredible panelists and watch-alongs and stuff like that. So there is nothing for me to complain about, with or without, obviously, anyone else on who doesn't want to work with us. So hit the like button, subscribe. There's 300 people in here. Let's get to 150 likes ASAP. Big up to you, Adam, for the super chats. Make sure you guys are all liking and subscribing now. Every single one of you. Don't just go subscribe to their channel. Subscribe to my channel as well. And go follow them on Twitter as well. Follow them on all social media platforms. And let's get to 100 likes ASAP. There's 300 people in here. These guys are coming here at 11 p.m. on a Friday night, you guys. So let's get the likes up and let's subscribe to the channel. Hey. What I said about Karius is crazy. JJ, I always end with you. This time I'm going to start with you so you don't really moan a lot, to be honest with you. Our first segment is usually Liverpool this week. Obviously, beating Southampton by 3-2 and then beating Madrid 2-0. Tell me your thoughts overall just on this week, to be honest with you.
I feel like I'll be repeating myself, to be fair. I don't even stream often, but I feel like even to myself, it's just been a repeat. Professional, I think that's just the best word to use. Two very, very different games. I think 2 games, like, you know, if I think about equal in value as well, I know you're playing Southampton, you expect to beat Southampton, but that for me is a game that in seasons gone past, you maybe, I mean, you come out and draw the game, do you know what I mean? Because they come back, you draw the game maybe 4-4, maybe it's 3-3. Heck, you maybe even lose the game in previous seasons because of the way that we play. Right now, it's like any kind of challenge, do you know what I mean, bit of adversity that's come our way so far, we've dealt with really well. And I don't mean, does it have to be anything mad? Or do you know what I mean, or like in terms of injuries, or do you know what I mean, mad controversy. But, you know, Southampton could have been a game that could have easily been a banana skin. Liverpool needed to do their business as well to win the game, knowing obviously what had happened in games early in the day, and Liverpool got the job done. And that was something that, irrespective of how we got it done, and that was the most important thing. I think we controlled the game. I think in that game in particular, I think we controlled it actually really, really well. It was just a situation where sometimes the pressing was just a bit off and they were able to play out through us. I don't think we were at our best. And Southampton, obviously, dead rubber game for them. I mean, I said it before, if they had their calendar or they had that fixture written down on the whiteboard, that would have been earmarked as a game that's just like, it's free hit. It doesn't matter. We don't expect to win that game anyway. So if we can get points in it, great. If we don't really care, because that's not the game where we need to get the points. So they probably went into that game just thinking, we're just going to give it all we have. It doesn't really matter. Play a game, freedom to play, no real pressure. And they played really, really well. Good side when it comes to football inside. I think they just struggle in terms of the personnel that they've got. But look, Liverpool get through it. And then, of course, Madrid, a game that I know that the narrative around Madrid was Liverpool don't really have to win that game, or it's not as important as the Man City game. And although I kind of agree to a certain extent, I do feel like it was probably more important than we gave it. It holds more importance than some fans gave it. And the reason why I say that is the momentum that gives you to go on into the game and go on into this December run that can be very, very, jam-packed, is going to be massive, because, you know, the whole argument surrounding Liverpool for some rivals is Liverpool haven't faced anyone. They're not good enough to haven't played well and they haven't really faced anyone. No one can really say that now after Madrid. And yes, it weren't Madrid with Tchouaméni in the team and stuff, but that midfield, Camavinga, Bellingham, Modric, if someone told you that, you know, beginning of the season, that Liverpool's midfield with Macallister, Jones and Gravenberch would be able to dominate that midfield, you laugh at them. So look, we're doing really well, playing amazing stuff. Great, probably really, really good performance against Madrid. Professional from everyone. I think everyone was minimum a 7 out of 10, and that's even Robbo 7, 8 out of 10, and that's Robbo that, you know, made that mistake, but then obviously put that ball in the delivery as well. So he's the one that actually helped to get us 2-0 up. So great performance. Of course, we're probably touching it more, but it's not great hearing about the injury to Konate, which obviously we'll touch base on. But again, it's something that I'm not really worried about, because I think Liverpool can professionally navigate his way out of it. And that's what we've managed to do so far. Not going into obviously particulars, but yeah, superb from Liverpool so far, man.
Agree.
Okay. We're gonna unpack that now in a second. Jamie, talk to me next. What are you saying about this week?
Yeah, I always thought the Southampton game after international week was going to be difficult, going away as well. And Southampton are a decent footballing side as well. You know, manager there likes to play on the front foot, likes to have a go. They might not have all the players to do what the manager might want them to do, but they show a lot of guts and determination. And it was always going to be difficult for Liverpool. I didn't expect Liverpool to play quite as badly as they did, but at the end of the day, they still got the win. They still do something. These players that Liverpool have got, we've got so much ability in this team and so many class footballers that, you know, they just seem to pick themselves up. You know, they just seem differently. I don't know what it is. It just seems different this year with them. And to come back and win that game, I feel showed great character for the team. The bit Nick and Brendan Rodgers quote, but it did show a lot of great character from the team to come back and win that game. And then the Real Madrid game, yeah, that was, I think, the the most on the slot football we've played this season. That Real Madrid game. We kept the ball really well in midfield. I thought Curtis Jones was excellent in that game. The way he keeps the ball, the way he's press resistant, the way he holds the ball, the little 3-yard passes, keeps the ball moving. Conor Bradley, it was like his coming out party, really. Liverpool fans know how good he is, but I think the world realised how much of a talented right back he actually is, and very good attacking. I actually think Conor Bradley's a better inverted right back than Trent is, personally, because he's better off the ball. There's just so many good performances in that Real Madrid game. I actually think Darwin had a really good game leading the line. I think he got in the heads of the Madrid defenders. He roughed them up a bit. I thought he played well. I thought he led the line really well. Salah. No, I don't think he was great in that game, but that run he did where he left Mendy spinning, was just that's just different. That is. Everyone says it. All I keep hearing as well that Mo's lost his pace. I'm yet to see it. I just think Mo conserves his energy more. That's all it is. He's not running like 100 miles an hour.
I think that's what it is, Jamie.
Yeah, he's conserving his energy.
That's why, but that's why he's lost his pace. Like, if you asked like Milner, right? Milner won the fitness challenge every single time he was at Liverpool.
Yeah, stamina was.
Over speed, stamina, but great. If you asked him to just do that sprint, he probably does it at the same level he's always done it. But can you do it 50 times a game? I think Walker as well. Walker's still got great top speed. If you ask him just to do one sprint, ask him to do 50 sprints in a game, and that yard of pace is gone. I think that's what it is with Salah. That's why because of how Liverpool are playing. I think if he had to do that run that he did with his goal,
he doesn't need to now, does he? That's the thing. The way we play now, he doesn't need to, and he turns it on when he seems like it now. Yeah, that Madrid game, though, for me was, I hear the excuses already because I don't know why. Madrid had injuries, especially the Arsenal fans. I don't know what Arsenal fans' problems with us is, but it's mad. But they coming out with like, you had Arda Güler playing, but for Madrid and Arsenal fans want to buy Arda Güler, so I don't see. If he's good enough for them, Madrid still had a talented team out there. And there's one thing.
Thank you, Jamie, for mentioning that before we go to the rest of them, because this is very important. People acting like Madrid fielded a bunch of bums. Arda Güler would start for like probably 90% of teams in world football. So would Brahim Diaz. So let's not act like, oh wow, the Madrid bench, what a shit bench. And even like the young kid Asensio. Listen, Asensio, fair enough, weakness. I respect that. I accept it. But the rest of them, who really was the weakness? You're telling me Modric is a weakness, Bellingham is a weakness, Camavinga is a weakness, Mbappe, Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler. That was a great team.
Even Valverde as a right back was really good because we had nothing.
Yeah, and he played in midfield second half too, by the way.
Yeah. I do love the fact that after that crunching tackle from Conor Bradley, Mbappe did not want a single part of him for the rest of the game. I just thought that. I thought that was brilliant. Conor Bradley as well. What a game he had, man. What a game he has. Yeah, they were missing Vinny Jr. Yeah, they were. But look, and Keller again. Maybe showed why he's one of the best keepers. Maybe showed why he's one of the best keepers in world football at the moment.
I hear you. To be honest with you, I hear you, Kelleher. Listen, perfect segue. Kmack, talk to me.
The interesting thing is. Southampton haven't played bad football, really. They've just not been able to score enough goals because they just haven't got great strikers in that team. The guy that they played really just went old school, didn't he? And kind of roughed up our defenders. And they're not really used to having someone who's taller than them getting amongst them. And I think it really rattled our defenders, but we still picked it up and won the game. And, it came down to a dodgy penalty decision, which kind of made it all a bit iffy. And then just Mo Salah just decided, you know what, we're just winning this one. I'm not having this. But Southampton haven't been crap on the eye, and they haven't been crap in possession in games either. They just haven't been able to score. And I think they got a draw tonight with Brighton. They were like fifth.
They should have won.
They're not shit. But we just that was a huge banana skin for us because that was another international break, and every international break when we've come back, we haven't been fantastic. We lost against Forest. We got a win against Chelsea, which could have gone either way really in that game, and then obviously we got the win against Southampton. And then off the back of that, we then went into that Real Madrid game. And I do agree with Jerry, because it wasn't a game we needed to win, but I think it was a game we needed to just get out of our system, because we haven't beaten them since 2009. It's like 15 years. And all we ever feel is bloody hurt when we play Real Madrid. Even if we're winning them 2-0 at home in the first 20 minutes, they still smashed us. And they've knocked us out of every competition in the Champions League. They seem to be our bogey team. So to get that one out of the way early with Slot, I think is brilliant. And there was a moment in that game where we had the ball for 7 minutes and they didn't get it into our half once. Like, that's just incredible possession from a team and just pure pressure against them. And if it wasn't for Courtois, it could have been a lot more. Let's be honest. Like, he pulled off some brilliant saves, especially against Nunez.
Not for the first time. For the first time.
Yeah. But I probably would have ended up not having that collab with Craig as well, Sam.
Listen, I have no ill feelings towards the guy or anything. It's just, it's just disappointing. But regardless,
I would have said the same.
It is what it is. Listen, when you do
It
watch
is what it
alongs,
is.
everyone's mad. Well, it's normal. Raks, brother, this week, Liverpool 3-2 Southampton, 2-0 Real Madrid. Finally, we beat them. Obviously, you were about 30 the last time we beat them, 4-0 in 2009. How does it feel now as well?
You know what? There were times when we played Real Madrid and when I genuinely thought we were going to win. Like the first Champions League final we played them in, until Salah went off, I thought we were by far the better team. We dominated territorially. We were creating decent chances. And I think that was the start of this team, right? And I think it was just a bridge too far. Virgil had only been in Liverpool for 6 months. And I think having probably our player of the season, 44 goal Mo Salah go off, 42, 44, I can't remember how many. It was that kind of hurt, but then the following season we come back and win it, and then we're looking for revenge, and the whole word revenge thing came up a few times, and every time somehow, even when they weren't necessarily playing well, like in the second Champions League final, there wasn't that much between the teams, but somehow we couldn't get over the line, and other times we had that down season, they were just playing better than us, and that's fair enough. I can accept that. It's the other ones that don't go against you. And I kind of sensed a little bit that maybe the crowd was a little bit apprehensive at the start of the game, because it felt like the crowd kind of ramped up, and probably the turning point and the thing that gave them motivation was the Conor Bradley tackle. That seems the common consensus. And from that point onwards, it's just
what a tackle, by the way.
What a tackle! And it was a great tackle, and it was equally who the tackle was against, right? Because Mbappe is one of the biggest stars in world football, and Conor Bradley is, he's Irish, but he's a local lad, or he's one of our own, or however you want to call it. And that, it's just, again, Liverpool's a sentimental club, and I think that's absolutely fine. I think it's good to be sentimental. We watch football because we love football. It doesn't make logical sense, and when we have a moment like that, and that brings us together, and it makes us feel like we can all do this together. Because football is the meeting of a team and the fans. Otherwise, without one or the other, football doesn't really exist. So I'm getting a bit deep here, but I'm just saying that was the turning point in the game, and it felt like from that point onwards we were destined to win. And it was a great night. It was a great performance. I think that was
definitely didn't feel destined to win when Courtois saved the Bradley header. Let me tell you right now.
No. But
like,
I don't know.
Yo, we're cooking them, but damn.
But even when Mbappe had when Robbo gave the penalty away, in the back of our minds, we're like, even if he scores, there's enough time to get back, right? But I don't know. I was so glad we got over the line.
My head went there, mate. To be honest.
Yeah, my head.
Don't get me wrong. You get a bit angry in the moment, but I still think that if we I think we'd showed up until that point. We could have potentially gone ahead and gone on and won the game even after that. But anyway, didn't really come to that. And I'm just glad we've got that monkey off our back. And we are one of the best teams in Europe. We're definitely up there. And every team in Europe will fear playing us and will fear playing at Anfield, as it should be. And that's why I've been saying it more and more recently. The sky's the limit with this team, both in the league and the Champions League. We're in it to win it.
Okay, Mike?
Can I just say something about that Bradley tackle as well? It was shades of Jimmy Milner on it. It was like a throwback James Milner on it.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
have
yes,
it. And then it's like, let's see what you want, mate. Sorry, go on.
I love
I'm not going to look too deep into Southampton. It's right off of an international break. I don't think that you
Sorry,
can.
I didn't even talk about Southampton at all. Sorry about that. But
that's fine,
no,
Raks. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. I mean, listen, both of their goals came off of our own mistakes. The penalty is a mistake by us. And then, Connor Bradley was brilliant against Real Madrid, but that second goal that Southampton scores, he's tracking Konate. And he's completely exposing the center of the box. He's not staying to where the position that he should be covering. The ball gets by him. Boom. It's an open one-on-one. So while I love Bradley and I think that he's been brilliant, there have been times this season where he loses a little bit of focus. The same thing happened in the Nottingham Forest game. He kind of conceded the center of the park and was caught too high up the pitch. It didn't lead to a goal, but it led to an opportunity. And it seems to be a little bit of a pattern, but again, he's only 21. And he's not the starting right back yet. So I'm not going to harp on him for the overall consistency of his performance and judge him to the same caliber as Trent. But when it comes to Real Madrid, listen, I think that Madrid didn't come to play football. I think that we were brilliant, but I also think that they were incredibly passive and they were scared. Because in that first half, every time they had a counterattack, even on Kylian Mbappe's run, there's no one who's tracking upfield to support him. Every time they had the ball on either wing, it was 2 against 5. It was 3 against 6. There was no support from anyone else because everyone else was staying back to avoid getting countered. I just think that they were very passive. And outside of the Kylian Mbappe penalty, they didn't have a single real opportunity or real shot on goal that I would call. They had the one at the very end of the game that looked like a cross that Kelleher ended up saving, right? But I don't really count that as a shot. They had Lucas Vasquez from outside the box that didn't mean nothing. Brahim Diaz was offside when he had that shot from really close. So, the only actual shot on goal that could have scored was a saved penalty. You do that against Madrid, I don't care how weak you are, their respect towards you is enough. Like, your dominance of the game is enough. If they're unwilling to attack you, that says a lot. I mean, this is Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham, literally big fat 0 chances created, 0 duels won, 0 tackles. Same thing with Kylian Mbappe. It's funny. I was watching a Madrid vlogger's point of view from the away section, and at the end of the game, Mbappe didn't even come and clap the fans. He just walked right out, and everyone was screaming curses at him in Spanish. It's kind of pathetic, to be honest. I remember a time when I said, I don't think that this is going to work out as well as everyone thinks, but regardless, we were fantastic. I think Connor Bradley was unbelievable. Curtis Jones was exceptional. Darwin Núñez was even great. He was putting pressure on that side. Obviously, the Konate injury, it's not the best. To all those people saying, oh, here comes the Konate injury, it's like, listen, this was a contact injury. Almost every single one of his other injuries was a muscle injury. Was a muscle injury that occurred in training. This is a contact injury. Virgil is a little bit at fault there. Konate had cut him off. There's no need for you to come in there and double cut him off and push Endrick into Konate. It's really unfortunate. Obviously, you could never foresee that. And I don't blame him. It's really unlucky because Konate had that taken care of, and Endrick is obviously begging for minutes. So anytime he gets on the pitch, he's going to play his heart out. It was the last 10 seconds of the game. But to me, the bigger miss I feel like against City is actually going to be Connor Bradley because of the way that he inverts. And I think that in the first half he wasn't, but in the second half he starts getting into Madrid's back line over and over again. Remember, he had that header that was saved by Courtois about a minute before Macallister scored, and he assisted on the Macallister goal. And where was Macallister when he scored that? at the top of the box where I think he should be playing, because in the first half, he was sitting more in the double pivot. And then Arne Slot changed up the system a little bit. Macallister started to get a little bit more progressive. And at the top of the box, he's super creative. He's also the guy that provided the dink over the top for Luis Diaz's shot. He's the guy who played the ball in for the battering around when Nunes, basically punted the ball right at Courtois. Also, I'm not going to blame him for that miss. I think that Macallister was great. I think Connor Bradley was great. I wish we could have scored more. It's funny. People were talking about how good Courtois is, but then I rewatched both of our goals. The first goal for Macallister, he doesn't even put his arm out. He just drops to the floor, and he fails to extend the right arm, which is like, that's strange, because that's something that Courtois would do. And it felt like he had the reach to get it.
But that was kind of a little bit of an unexpected shot, though.
I think he took the shot really early.
100%.
Because it's like an audacious attempt from that of an angle. Like
100%. But then you look at the second goal where Cody Gakpo heads it. I know he heads it with power.
But
weird. if you rewatch it, his left hand is in a position where all he has to do is this. And he could maybe get a hand on that ball, but he doesn't even try. It was really weird. And then he makes an unbelievable save on Luis Diaz at the end of the game. Again, I'm not trying to say anything nefarious here, but I just think it was strange that the goals that we scored went in, but the ones that he saved didn't. It was like a backwards.
He's played for about 2 months as well, by the way. That was his first game back. So,
but
listen, sometimes your reactions. Even if you played and go and never played and go, sometimes someone will chuck a ball at you, you'll just instinctively go out and catch it. At other times, it whiz by you, you'll never even see it. So I don't think there's much.
No. Yeah. I mean, listen, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and he's the reason why we didn't win a Champions League final. So I'm not raining on his parade. I just thought it was a little strange. But listen, 2-0 win at home against Real Madrid. I disagree with these guys. I think it was a must-win. I think that you needed to get that momentum. We needed to get over that hill. We needed to carry it into this City game. And also, we're top of the Champions League group. We have a 95% chance of finishing in the top 8. We've pretty much qualified for the next round no matter what. It was a huge win, five wins out of 5. And now you're going into that City game thinking, we got all the momentum and we don't have to go anywhere. All I got to do is stay right here in Liverpool, play at Anfield again this Sunday, get that win, 11 points up. But yeah.
The team in 8th place has 10 points. They're 5 points away. So I'd probably say one more win and we're good. One more. Actually, not. I'd probably say
15 points qualifies you. 15 points qualifies.
If we beat Girona, we're in the top 8. Done. Actually.
Yeah. I think.
The last 2 games.
And by the way, even if we finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
anyway,
matter.
In one, regardless.
Yeah. You just got to beat Girona, handle business, and we're pretty much. I was looking at the stats. They have us at a 95% chance of getting top 8.
If we beat Girona, we are through, by the way, even mathematically.
Yeah, I think mathematically
we'd won.
Yeah, because here's the thing: the team currently in 8th is Monaco, and they're 5 points away from us. They have 10 points. We have 15, right? So if you add 3 points to us, we're on 18. I don't think they can make the difference up then in those games.
3 points. 3 points is all we need.
But then these teams are going to play each other as well. So they're not that's what I'm saying.
Can I tell you something quite wild about that setup as well? This will make you laugh. If we obviously qualify from the group in maybe the top 4, so 1 to 4, and Real Madrid carry on with the projection that they're on right now, we could end up playing them in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs, in the 16 if they win their playoff round.
I hear it, but at the end of the day,
it's really weird that a team who can finish 20th, we can end.
Is it not drawn? Is there not another draw?
It's pot 1 versus pot. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. The teams from 1st to 8 go through immediately, and they are in pot 1. Okay, and then pot 2 is 9 to 24. The team in 9th plays the team in 24th. The team in 10th plays the team in 23rd. Blah blah blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. And those 8 winners, and those 8 winners make up the round of 16, essentially, of those games. So what then basically happens? So as things stand, I'll give you an example. As things stand, the team in 9th is Aston Villa. The team in 24th is Real Madrid. So Aston Villa will play Real Madrid as an example. So that's basically what would happen. and then the
If
winner
they
will
even
be in that
qualify.
second.
If Real Madrid even remember they're only on 6 points. PSG are
They've
only
got
on 5.
Atalanta away, by the way. Their next game's Atalanta away, and
Yeah,
they're third, I think. They're actually
Atalanta
doing really well.
are fifth. They're on 11 points currently. So
Okay,
yeah,
you
that
You
won't
know,
be easy. That won't be easy.
no one's guaranteed. No one at that bottom thing is guaranteed anything.
But at the same time, Mike, you want to know why? I'm not going to take the Madrid scenario yet, Kmack, because look, there's a lot of teams here: Sporting, Brest, Lille, Benfica, Milan, PSV, Juve,
Two of those beat
Club
Madrid.
Brugge, Dinamo Zagreb. I think we could beat all of them with these, to be honest with you. So listen, it depends on the draw. Hopefully, we get an easy one. That's what I'd say.
Long way
Big up
away.
Big up to everyone locked in, by the way. We've got 600 people watching us even at this time. Can we get to 200 likes? You bunch of frauds. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get 200 likes. Yalla, ASAP. Everyone, close your live chat. Hit the like button. Blazoo. So this is how this works. Sing that you'll never walk alone. Arsenal are scary now. For the people who don't know, me and the Chelsea scumbags were at war for the whole last season. And now, because City are crap, we are Chelsea fans' last hope of Arsenal not winning a league title. So I have made a new list of Chelsea fans, but this time it's the allies of Liverpool FC. Dinishan, Blaze, Zedel, Salman, and Olufemi are on that list currently as Chelsea fans who are, allies of Liverpool Football Club. So that's basically what we're doing, because me and the Chelsea fans have had a rocky relationship, but now they need me in it. So yeah, better learn the lyrics to You'll Never Walk Alone. Just open new tab on YouTube, start learning that shit, because you're going to need me in March. Big up to Nino, who says, I could proudly say I watched us beating Real Madrid at Anfield. Finally, congratulations. I know Nino was at the game as well. More revenge still due. Connor woke up Anfield crowd, and that was it for Madrid. Still could hear Hussam shouting at Robertson for the penalty. Thank God Kelleher saves it. Listen, Raks talks
It was a
about
soft pen. Let's just
yeah, but Raks talks about if he scored it, we would have come back and all this. I'm not doing all that, I'll be honest with you. Listen, at the end of the day, 1-1.
Never know.
They have a bit of momentum. I'm not trying to face that type of Madrid, to be honest with you. So, yeah, 100%. You have to step on their throat while they're down. So, listen, thank God. By the way, what a save from Kelleher as well, because Mbappe smashed that. Yes, he jumped the right way, but Mbappe smashed that as well. And he made a fantastic save, to be honest with you. So, massive shout out to Kelleher, who Kelleher and Bradley were our two best players. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Big up to you, Nino. Big up to Jack. Jahilad. He says, I think Slot will have Endo rotate at right back. I have a feeling. Before you had this feeling, did you smoke any Class A drugs? If you did smoke any Class A drugs, let me know. Because if you are going to choose a midfielder to play right back, there's one midfielder that makes sense, and that's Soboslai. That's the one failed midfielder go to right back type move I've ever seen in my whole life. Endo at right back is this is the worst idea in your whole life, my brother. I love you. You're my bro. You're a moderator. We've spoke before. This is the worst idea in your whole life.
Why would you not just, if you really needed to, just play Kwanzaa and Joe Gomez? I don't even understand.
Like Joe Gomez is a
I'm telling Jack that's why Endo at right back. Mike is quicker than Endo, so I'm not gonna go there, bro. I'm not gonna.
I actually am really fast.
Trent's fit.
By the way, I actually fully believe what I just said.
Fit.
Listen, Endo against some of these left wingers, bro. I ain't trying to see that. I'll be honest with you. No Konate and Bradley, Kwanzaa and Gomez are trash.
You're being harsh.
And this leads us perfect segue of disagreement with Praxologist. Thank you for the super chat anyway. Into the next section, which we're going to talk about the injuries and kind of this upcoming fixture as well against Manchester City. And I'll start this segment because I didn't talk about Liverpool this week. Look, this time Arne Slot has to make a very important decision for Liverpool Football Club. Do you want a solid defender or do you want a porn star? And I think it's very important we make the right decision.
Hey, 1 minute. Let me think about
it. Allegedly, who Kwanzaa was texting as well, looks very much like Erling Haaland. So I don't want any confusion on the football pitch. Also, this has happened before. And Joe Gomez has actually had a fantastic game against Haaland before, by the way. Joe Gomez is a seasoned professional, experienced Premier League centre-back, experienced Premier League winning centre-back as a part of a Premier League winning partnership that had the best defense in the league. I'll be honest with you, I don't have time for experiments or for sympathy or for, listen, he had a bad game against Brighton and against, but let's give him a chance. I'm going Gomez. And Trent, if he's fit to be on the bench, he's fit to start. Simple as. Players have come back from injuries and started straight away anyway. And if there is a game to start Trent straight away, it's fucking Man City. Because he's actually been having a solid defensive season. So for me, I don't think Gomez is trash. I don't even think Kwanzaa's trash. I just think Kwanzaa's had bad performances this season. That doesn't make him trash overall, to be honest with you. And this assures me of the fact that we do need a centre back in January, to be honest with you. But I don't want to talk about transfers. I think we have enough to cope with this injury period. But what Raks brought up last show is coming to fruition. We might have to just say some games. Hey, Carabao Cup. I loved the experience last season. I loved you. Big up to Van Dijk for the header. But
Slot's
right
not
now,
going to do that. Slot's not going to do that.
I know, but I'm just saying, look, at the end of the day, we have no available right back and left back except Robertson and Trent currently. We've got 2 available centre backs who are like very good. Okay, so Kwanzaa, there's a question mark. I'm not saying his shit. I'm just saying there's a question mark. We've got in midfield Jones, Gravenberch, Macallister. All of them are fit and available. But obviously, I would expect to see the likes of Harvey Elliott, Szoboszlai, Tyler Morton, Endo in those Carabao Cup games. And the forward line, we know Jota's currently out. Now, if Jota does come back, maybe it does create a different dynamic. And I understand where Mike's coming from. But at this moment in time, if you tell me you have to sacrifice one game this month to win the rest of them, Southampton and the Carabao Cup.
Sure.
Good luck, mate.
But we also, just really quick, Rak, before you go, the club has not officially come out. Like, everything that's about these injuries is just rumor mill. Like, obviously, that isn't to say that Konate is not seriously hurt or that Bradley's not seriously hurt, but the club has not made an official announcement telling us what exactly happened. So until that point, I can't really realistically diagnose what we need to do, because for all we know, Arsenal were saying that Odegaard's going to be out for 2 weeks, ends up being out for a month and a half. Like, journalists could be sitting here saying that Konate is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, but 2 weeks time from now, all of a sudden he's back. So until the club tells me what the injury was,
hasn't Konate actually posted up on Instagram that he's injured and he'll be back stronger?
He said he was hurt, but like, I'm talking about timetable. Like, I know that he's hurt. But what I'm saying is that some people are saying 4 to 6 weeks. Other people are saying 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, I need to hear what the club says and what the timetable is from the club. I know that he's hurt.
I think he was lucky, by the way. That could have been a season ender. It could have been.
That could have been worse. I'll be honest with you. I do agree there.
I mean, a lot worse. Yeah.
I'm looking at the Southampton game. Obviously, I'm even looking at the Girona game.
Me too.
If I would maybe not play a second string team, but I'd consider rotating seriously and maybe keeping some of the big hitters on the bench if we need them. I think we just need to be smart about these. I'm not worried about Konate not being there necessarily, because I think Gomez can step in and do a job, and I think Kwanzaa can do a job. We all know the consistent thing with Van Dijk is whoever he plays with, whether it's Dejan Lovren, Joel Matip, Joe Gomez, Ibrahima Konate, Joe Kwanzaa. The constant is Van Dijk. If Van Dijk is there, we're good. So there'll be a little fluctuation. Don't know. Konate has been exceptional this season, but the strongest partnership that I've ever seen Virgil have ever was that period. And what's his name? He was in Hussam's in the Igal's chat earlier on in the show earlier on today. Was with Joe Gomez. We conceded something like. We went
1,200 minutes and conceded 1 goal with Joe Gomez. And
that was during 18, 19, 19, 20, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So obviously, Gomez has been through a lot since then. Some of his injuries have been really, really serious. But I think we have enough to cope with him for the time being.
Out of curiosity, is anyone here starting Kwanzaa for Gomez this Sunday?
No, I think Kwanzaa.
Jerry, you are?
I think Kwanzaa plays. I think Kwanzaa plays.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't really mind.
I don't mind, but I think I would start Kwanzaa personally. I mean, again, I wouldn't be fussed if Gomez starts. It's not something I'm strong about, but I would start Kwanzaa.
Why, Jerry? Tell me. Expand.
Because we need a right back off the bench. Maybe that's a good point. Like, we haven't got a right back on the bench, have we? if we play Joe Gomez.
I mean, it
I don't
doesn't
think
matter.
that's Jerry's reason, though.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I'm
not-
just
it's not
saying
for
that
me.
might be Slot's reason.
Yeah, no. For me, it's more Joel Kwanzaa, and again, this is not. Again, at his best, I think it was last season. I think I've got it here somewhere. 1 second. I think he's only lost 1 game. Back end of
Kwanzaa
last
was-
season, I think. No, yeah. So, how many games did he play? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many games is that?
Played
Yeah,
a lot of games. Yeah.
Maybe like hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
He
8.
played like
9.
20 odd games.
And so yeah, in about 20 games, it's about 20 games, right? He lost 1 game.
Kwanzaa
He lost
had a
1
good
game.
Was that
Now-
Palace?
Now,
Was that
now,
Palace?
now, Joel Kwanzaa, again, I understand he hasn't been great when he's been able to go and play, but I think for me anyway, there's a reason why Slot started in the Ipswich game. There's a reason why Gomez is the one that Liverpool wanted to let go of, and Slot wasn't like adamant about keeping him like that. So it really suggests to me that there's a hierarchy in terms of who he thinks is obviously who he sees a future for. Now, doesn't mean Gomez won't play, because I think Gomez will do fine. Like I'm comfortable with anyone, but I think Kwanzaa's a bit better on the ball at his best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you go back and watch him against City last season. That's Kwanzaa against City. Look how when he was being pressed by De Bruyne, I think it was, when he does a step over right in front of him, drops the shoulder and plays a pass into the midfield. I know we don't necessarily need that, but that composure, if he's on it, and again, this is down to the manager, I don't know, but if he's on it, I think that gives you a different dimension when you're playing at the back and trying to do what Slot's trying to do. I think Gomez will be more comfortable in the wide areas purely because he's played there more often than not in recent games. You playing him as a centre back, the responsibilities are different now. And now what you're asking him to do is, again, as people are saying, go back to 18-19 or 19-20, where, yeah, I mean,
I can go back to this season in the Carabao Cup game. Gomez did play centre back.
100%. No, we could, and that's what I'm saying.
Gomez...
I'd be very comfortable with him playing there, because I think when he's played this season, I think he's been good, and I think he's been good last year as well. Do you know what I mean? After the season before, where we all know what happened with Matoma and stuff, so he's been really, really on it, and he gives you that experience. But it just depends on what you're looking for. Do you want someone that's a bit more at their best again? This is when they're playing at their best. Do you want someone that's a bit more composed on the ball? Do you want to go with experience? And I think that's the way to go and look at it. And I don't think there's any wrong or right decision, but I wouldn't be opposed to playing Kwanzaa, but I wouldn't be opposed to playing Gomez either. For me,
Can I just give you Gomez's numbers from the last time he played Man City, which was last year, by the way?
Did he play last year or was the year before?
2022-23 season. The last time Gomez played against City.
So 2 seasons ago.
67 touches, 3 out of 3 tackles won, 6 clearances, 1 interceptions. He wasn't dribbled past once, and it was a clean sheet. That was Gomez against City.
Yeah, that was the 1-0 game at Anfield. Yeah.
Absolutely sensational. But Gomez has also came in twice this season, like just off the fly, and he was brilliant in both games. So I feel like this is kind of Gomez's chance to get back into the team again.
I hear where Jerry's coming from in terms of, like, from purely a football perspective. Kwanzaa is a bigger unit and is a better passer. And he's probably a better footballer.
He's been hooked twice already this season.
But I will say something, though. One thing we discount sometimes when we have this conversation is experience. Gomez is a lot more experienced in these situations.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Look, don't get me wrong. I say I'd probably edge Gomez, but that's also the main thing is Van Dijk is there. I don't think this might be controversial. I don't think Joe Gomez is good enough for Liverpool Football Club anymore. I've seen him make stupid, ridiculous mistakes time after time after time, especially in the fullback positions. But can he come in for a short period of time and do a good enough job and come in for the odd game here and there?
We need him to now.
We need him to. So it's different. But I absolutely understood why the club wanted to sell him in the summer, because I also don't think he's good enough the fact of that Van Dijk is playing with him makes a big difference. Van Dijk is the key.
Yeah,
That's true.
I look at the reason Kwanzaa might get in the team because he's Gomez. He's not great in the air, so he might bring Kwanzaa in for that with Virgil. Because if you look at what Ibu and Virgil do, it's their aerial domination in every game they play. You know, and he might look at Kwanzaa for that. Kwanzaa is better on the ball. You know, he can bring the ball out from the back. He has got that like Matic run to him mainly, where he can bring the ball out the back and bring the ball into midfield quite well. So, you know, he might look into that, you know, but Gomez has got that, you know, if Gomez is ever going to get a chance to play centre-back for Liverpool again, you just feel like with his experience, it should be him on Sunday. But, you know, Slot might be looking at something different. But my take in it as well is I'm not so concerned about Konate being out if it's only short-term, if it is only 4 to 6 weeks. So I do think Gomez and Kwanzaa are good enough. But I also think the team's better set up defensively now than it was previously. So we don't leave our centre-backs as isolated as we did before. You know, they're not going to come in and have to play one-on-one defending. You know, our structure is a bit more defensive-minded. It's a bit slower paced. So I do think we can get away with it short-term. If it's a long-term injury, then Liverpool might have to look at doing something in January. But for me, yeah, them two can come in and cover on a short period, no problem. They're good footballers.
I think more so when it comes to what's going on with Kwanzaa, I think it's obviously the Ipswich game. I think that affected his confidence. Just naturally, that would happen in it. As a 20-year-old, the manager hooks you off at half time. Do you know what I mean? That's, being hooked off at half time is never a good feeling, from experience. And what do you know what I mean? All the stuff that's going on off the pitch as well.
Time, Danny?
Yeah, in the academies, loads of times. Of course, it happens, man. But yeah, so all of a sudden, like, he's obviously feeling it a bit. Probably got a lot of confidence from starting a lot of pre-season games and thinking he's going to be the starter. He's then obviously got all the stuff going on off the pitch now. The club will know what's going on, isn't it? The club would have pulled him aside and listen. HR would have known everything that's going on before it came out and all that. They had the team on it. So, do you know what I mean? Even Slot would have known. So the fact that he hasn't been playing games, right, or as many games, might not even be because he's been that poor. Look, it could be that he's been poor in training, it hasn't been good enough. But it could also be that the club's protecting him and Slot's protected him now, not putting him in the limelight because of what's going on. And this might be a game where he's like, look, I'm still going to revert to type because ultimately Kwanzaa's the one that started the season. Kwanzaa's the one that started the season. So there was something there that gave sort of the inclination, like, yeah, you know what? We can let go of Gomez because we've got Kwanzaa. Now, remember, Szoboszlai was in the side, started the season as well. And look how many games he's had before Slot made the decision to actually, you're going to be benched now on a consistent basis. Loads of games. And he's quite openly came out and said, look, I want more numbers from him, but he's doing fine. Kwanzaa's the one where, you know, it seems like he made a mistake and he's never seen the light of day again. And I think that's more to do with the stuff that's going on off the pitch. So, look, if the time's not ready, again, don't play Kwanzaa. But I don't know, when it comes to Slot, I feel like he's going to make the right decision. He's just going to make the right decision, and whatever decision he makes will be the right one. So I'm not fussed whether it's Gomez or Kwanzaa. I
don't really think that I don't think that Joe Gomez or Joel Kwanzaa is like the determining factor here. I think that we'll be fine with either one. With Kwanzaa, I'd play him because of his pace. You know, if anything, he's quicker than Joe. And the one thing that I would be worried about with this City team, I'm not worried about them breaking us down with long spells of possession. I'm worried about a incisive pass to Erling Haaland on a counterattack. I want a pacier center back that can match that kind of speed. Joe just doesn't have that kind of pace. Jarell is simply quicker than him.
I think Joe's faster than Kwanzaa.
Yeah,
from what
I think Joe's a lot faster.
Kwanzaa got stripped a few times last season.
He is.
All right. Well, listen. Maybe my memory is failing me, but regardless, I think that
he's also pretty good in the air. By the way, I thought I just mentioned that as well. I think he's like 6'2", and he's
yeah.
By the way, chat, let us know who you would start as well. One word answers, please. No life stories. Gomez. Give us one of those.
Listen, maybe I got that wrong, but regardless, I think that if the midfield does its job, it's not going to matter which one of these guys starts, because if we control the game in the midfield, I'm not worried about City breaking us down. Counterattacking wise, we've been great this season. It's been, it is the way that teams have scored against us. Like that's how Southampton scored. The Pulisic was kind of technically a transition goal. Hudson-Odoi was pretty much a transition goal. Yes, there were great finishes, but ultimately it's about the midfield controlling the game. It's about dominating their midfield. It's about doing the same spells of possession that we did against Real Madrid. And if we do that, I'm comfortable with either Joe Gomez or Jarell Quansah, because I don't think that City are going to be as big of a threat as they would be if the midfield wasn't doing its job. So, to me, I'm always in the stance of defense starts up front, not at the back line. And either one of those guys can do a job. I think that Jerry has, great points. Jarell Quansah was clearly the favored choice at the beginning of the season, but for one reason or another that none of us can articulate because we don't work in the backroom staff, he hasn't been playing, and Joe Gomez has. So if Joe Gomez is the guy, he is more seasoned. He has played against City. Listen, I think you could say that Jarell Quansah is better on the ball, but I've seen Joe lay in some brilliant passes, some brilliant crosses. I've seen him, be able to possess the ball. And ultimately, I'm looking at the midfield here. I need Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, and Alexis Macallister to control this game. They control this game. I don't have to worry about my back line because City aren't going to have a sniff. And if I can get up 1-0 in the first half, I know that in the second half I can put the pressure on. So, to me,
and Mike, while you're at it, about the other injury, Bradley is also unfortunately injured
which
now.
is what I think is the bigger loss here. I think Konate has been brilliant, right? He's been unbelievable, but what Bradley can do offensively in that right back position is something that I have not seen Trent be able to do this season. Even when Trent has inverted in the past, when he inverts, I feel like he's just relieving pressure and allowing us to control the ball in the opposing half. But when Bradley inverts, we're creating, gilt-edged chances. He's getting into the box and he's getting ahead on the ball. He's getting into the box and he's putting in the layoff. He's getting into the box and he's the layoff, right?
And he's given Salah so much freedom.
Exactly.
So much freedom.
And to me, Trent has just been I don't know what it's been. I think defensively Trent has been night and day compared to last season. But with the ball, I say it every week. Yes, he has played key passes that have led to goals, but that's 1 out of 10 passes. The other 9 passes are directly to the opposition, or he's trying to do an ambitious switch and it's getting intercepted. Now maybe that's tactical. Maybe that's not entirely on him. But also, I'm not the opposite way. But I'm also I'm not discounting his ability. He is the best passer of the ball in this team based on talent. Or a free kick, I want Trent. If it's a free kick on the edge of the box, Trent. If it's on the side of the box, Trent. But just based on this season, Bradley has given us so much more offensively. And we've seen that the way that Slot starts these games, it's always back 4. And then we get to a certain point and the right back inverts, get an extra body in midfield, we move up. But I mean, listen, that's just my own personal opinion.
I feel like with the Bradley situation, it's more. I'm more worried not worried, but I'm more upset for on his behalf, more so than the teams. As in, he was really, really good against Real Madrid. Against Southampton, he was poor though. Against Southampton, if we were judging this based on that Southampton game, we'd be looking like, oh my God. The argument before going into the Madrid game was, and the discussion was, oh my God. If Vinicius is playing against Bradley, it's over. It's over. No, we might have to play Gomez there, because Bradley won't be able to deal with him. You're not going to be able to deal with Mbappe and Vinicius. So the narrative wasn't, oh yeah, you know what, Bradley, we need to play him because offensively and it actually wasn't that. It's more so. It's more so. He's played really well, so it'll be good to have a player that's feeling confident and on form. But it's more on his behalf because he's looking to go and establish himself in the team. So now that he's out and Trent comes back in, Trent's going to start the games for the rest of the season, at least if he's available. I think Trent's level, right, and the expectation of what Trent needs to do to be effective is so high, right, that and Bradley had a good game, but little Bradley would do, we'll look at it as a positive. Whereas if Trent was to go and do that, we wouldn't rate it as much because we know what Trent can do. We know the pass Trent can play.
I agree.
We know the pass. We know the goal Trent can score. We know the assist he can go and create. We know how deadly. We know how he can just control a game and win a game by himself from that position. So if he's not doing that, he's not performing that well. He's not performing that well. Whereas I think again, the ability for him to go and relieve pressure in that midfield role is why I think he'll be good in a game like this.
And also, I mean,
that's the reason. Your reason is why, because I feel like having another player that you can pop the ball to, that you know that worst case scenario can just keep it in those areas, means that you're not giving away possession to Man City, and it's not going to become an end-to-end game that we're used to against City. Sorry, Rak. Go ahead.
And also the onus, we're playing at home. We have within our grasp the possibility of arguably knocking Man City out of the title race. The onus is on us. We need to obviously don't be reckless, but we should be stepping up and approaching this challenge in an aggressive, attacking manner with control. Obviously, I'm not saying go crazy, but I don't think we should necessarily enter this game being too cautious. We should be stepping on their neck, as Sam likes to say.
Oh, you got to go on their throats. There's no doubt about it. I think I look at Conor Bradley here. I think Conor Bradley's a big game player. When you play the big teams, Conor Bradley seems to be really, really good. And he sort of loses his mind a little bit in the lesser games. But if Conor Bradley was fit and didn't get injured, I think Conor Bradley starts this game. I don't think he rushes Trent back straight away. And also it shows that also with Slot, he's playing players in their positions. Because Gomez easily came in against Madrid and played right back, but that more defensive, player. So it shows that Slot has a lot of belief in Conor Bradley to play that right back area against Real Madrid. So I think that's big for Conor Bradley's future at Liverpool, personally. But yeah, I think he's a decent player. He's young. He's 20 years old. There's no rush for Conor Bradley to play 50 games a season or anything like that. Let him learn the game. Let him get better. He's getting coached by Slot. I think he's going to get a better and better player. And in the future, we've got a little diamond there. So there's no rush for it. There's no rush.
He's also the captain of his national team already. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, he's a good little player, man.
His attitude as well. Terrific player.
He is absolutely he's a phenomenal player. Where's the inhalers? We got a title to win, boys. This is what Jack is saying. Hey, bring the inhalers out, man. I'm all for the inhaler army. You get me? Let's do it. Let's do it. Big up to Jack again, who says we're giving Savinho his first goal, aren't we? I mean, Savinho does play down Robertson's side, so it is a possibility to be.
Yeah, that is a worry. I ain't gonna lie.
That is definitely a possibility right there.
Thanks for that, yeah.
Robertson prop in 2024, I've had enough of it. Listen, January, bring me new player in that position. Since you guys don't want to do Simicast prop, I'm the leader of the Simicast prop army. I started it from 3 years ago, but now people just don't want to give Simicast his flowers. Go sign a
mad links to the other Robbo, Mad links to the other Robbo.
I don't think
Kirkus doesn't move me, but if the club want him, they want him. It is what
it's the other Robbo. It's mad links now. Yeah,
I don't think Robbo's leaving the football club. I think it's Simicast leaving the football club before Robbo.
We're going to end up with two Robbos.
I literally don't think Robbo's going to leave the football club. I think Liverpool see more value in letting Simicast go and keeping Robbo. I really, and then go and buy a number one.
Simicast, you're going to get more money for Simicast, definitely.
Yeah, and leave Robbo as your second choice, and then go and get your first choice left back in the summer. I think that's.
I hear you.
I see it.
I hear you. Anyway, guys, we have hit 200 likes. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be previewing now the Liverpool City game. Big up to every single person locked in. We have 620 people watching us, even at this time of the night, even right now. Please, let's get the likes up, chat. Every single one of you guys right now, please do hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel. We have spoken about Liverpool this week. We've spoken about the injuries. And now it's time for the final segment of the day, which is the Manchester City preview. Let's get the likes up now, chat. So, big up to you, Jack. Jamie, I'm going to start with you. Sunday.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Man City. Must-win game. I'm so glad you're saying this. First of all, just before I just have this personal thing against. Does anyone here think it's not a must-win game?
Every game's a must-win game.
Thank you.
It's a must game.
Go ahead, Jamie. Talk to me about the preview.
Yeah, this game's huge. I do think, look, I know everyone watched Spurs absolutely annihilate Man City last week, so everyone now thinks we're going to do the same.
And Feyenoord.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an extremely close game, but we'll still win it. You know, Pep's not going to come to Anfield. I mean, if Pep comes to Anfield and plays like he did against Tottenham, then we are going to annihilate them. You know, Pep's going through it at the moment. Obviously, he's never had a team that's crumbled a little bit before because he never usually stays long enough for that to happen. So he's going through it a little bit. I look at Man City's midfield more than anything, and there's a lot of old legs in that midfield. And I think with Man City as well, when you go and do a four-peat, which is almost impossible to do, that takes a lot of mental fatigue. And I literally look at Man City right now, and I think they're mentally fragile. They're exhausted. It takes a lot to do what they did in the last couple of years. And their players are getting older, and their midfield has got old legs right now. And I think that's where Liverpool go win the game. I think if Liverpool go with Curtis Jones, Macallister and Gravenberch, that midfield three, I think the technicality, the pace in the midfield, the agility in the midfield, the athleticism in the midfield will overwork Man City's midfield. And if they can do that, and they got Diaz and Salah can get free space, Diaz up against a 34-year-old.
Diaz owes us the game against Man City after last year.
Yeah, and he's going up against Kyle Walker. Gravenberch at the moment, he's making mistakes. He's going up against Salah. But I do think like Pep's going to come with a plan. It might be the first time that City play a sitting back kind of game and put more people behind the ball than he usually likes to do.
That's what he did in. That's what he did in which season was it? When Mahrez missed a penalty in the last second.
Yeah, he came to Anfield for a draw, did he? And then tried to. Yeah.
That's the first time ever I've seen Pep Guardiola defend my whole life watching him.
So that's why I think. That's why I think it's going to be tight, but I think we'll get the victory because I think our momentum now is just moving. It's just going, and momentum in football is huge. And I just don't see us losing or drawing this game.
I do agree with you. I think it's going to be a tight 4-1 win for us.
Tight 4-1. Well, 3 goals right at the end. Right at the end.
I think we'll come out aggressive, and I think the first goal, depending on who it goes to, might shape the game. If we get the first goal, I think with everything they've gone through, that 3-3 draw in midweek, that was almost worse than a loss because they went from the ecstasy of finally turning the corner of the mini disaster they've been in to
kicking the ball in their own net 3 times.
Yeah, being pretty much embarrassed in front of the whole world. Right, you saw Pep was not in a great mental state at the end of it. So I think if we get the first goal, I think there's a possibility that I'm not saying will happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of reverted to type a little bit how things have been going from recently. Conversely, if they get the first goal, that might give them some belief and give them something to hold on to. I'd be surprised if they park the bus. That's not Pep's MO, by any means. But
are we sure after what happened against Feyenoord?
He's never going to do that. He shouldn't.
So.
He shouldn't.
It's never been something he's done. But
if we score the first goal, I feel like they're going to give up directly. No bullshit. I genuinely feel like they're in such a shit mental give up state. If we go 1-0 up, within let's say 6 minutes, we score the first goal or 1-0 up, they will fully fucking give up mentally. Probably 6 or 7 of those players. I have seen the City only once in my whole life. And that was actually I've seen it a lot in my whole life because they were crap. But I'm talking about Pep Guardiola City. This is the worst I've seen them since 2019, 2020, where they just keep losing game. I still remember I watched the Crystal Palace game where Andros Townsend scored a goal that it was unbelievable. The half volley from 40 yards out, where Adama Traore scored 2 goals at the Etihad. 2 goals at the Etihad, 2 purely counter-attacking goals, win 2-1. Wolves, and then they lost to Wolves again 3-2 that same season as well. So listen, I've seen this type of City before. What happened against Feyenoord is the reason why I'm confident. Not because what happened against Spurs. We know Spurs is their bogey team, blah, blah, blah. But for you to be 3-0 up and in 15 minutes collapse that way to the team who's currently 4th in the Eredivisie, I don't think that team has what it takes right now to come to Anfield and get a result. Which is why if we get a draw this Sunday, then we can't be trusted to win this league title. There's a
No,
massive
it's-
stake.
If I'm going to be on, if I'm going to be honest, the inclination I'm getting is that it won't be as easy as we're making it out.
No,
That's why I
won't
said
be.
that's going to be tight.
Yeah, I
game.
think
be.
if anything, it's going to be like the Arsenal game. If anything, I think it's going to be exactly like that, and I think we probably come out of that with a draw, if I'm being honest, because there's no a game.
You think we're gonna draw?
Yeah, I don't think. I think there's no game. I'm something in me. Of course, I want Liverpool to win, but there's something in me telling me Liverpool won't be able to get the job done.
Then surely that proves we can't be trusted then to win a league title.
Well, no, because you're basing it off one result. As in, you can't go and win the amount of games that we have done, draw a game and say, oh, but now we're not ready to go and win the title. Of course, you want to beat your rivals, but we'll only know at the end of the season whether we can or not. Likewise, if City draw, they could look at it and fans could look at it and say they're not ready to win a title because there was a must-win game for them. It's a must-win.
Yeah, actually, no, they're the one who can afford the draw. I think a draw at Anfield for them restarts their season, gives them that reset button.
Yeah, maybe, but again, they've in previous seasons there've been teams that have been able to go and nick points off the top, like by beating the title challenges. So anyways, I look at it and I just feel like for them, it's if you can't get up for this game, you're not going to get up for any game. And City aren't gonna just capitulate. Like the players that they've got, they're gonna click at one moment or another. And De Bruyne's got another game under his belt. Do you know what I mean? And he didn't start. He's got another game under his belt, and best believe he's gonna start that game. Do you know what I mean? You've got Haaland, and when you've got someone like Haaland that can always just score. So as Raks said, if they score the first goal and Liverpool are chasing the game now, I hope the players don't go into the emotional state that they can sometimes go. Were under Klopp, because then that I don't want to be in an emotional game like that. I don't want us to start playing the occasion. I want us to play the game, and I think we only do that if we score the first goal. And I think then we can be quite professional about it.
Jerry, I love you, but this revisionism is insane because Klopp is the one manager that beat Pep the most out of all managers.
100%. But what we don't want in the situation is where it becomes desperate from the fans and the players. Because the game that you play right now, if we were under Klopp, I'd be like, yeah, we need to use the emotion. Klopp doesn't want to go and do that. So what I don't want is we go 1-0 down and Trent starts spamming the ball forward and trying to cross it into the back post because he just needs to get a goal in, and Slot's going mad on the touchline saying, why are you not keeping it? Respect what we're trying to do and just keep and be patient and trust the process.
Can I give you a sad truth? Because we're having a great conversation about this. I give you a sad truth. I am desperate personally. You have because I'm gonna give you a genuine, plausible scenario. No conspiracies, nothing. Let's say we draw this Sunday. What your scenario happens? We draw this Sunday. Yay! The mathematicians come out and say we're 8 points above City anyway. It doesn't matter. And then we win the rest of our games. City hit the reset button, start winning games. January 1st comes around. Manchester City spend the GDP of a country in January, and then all of a sudden they've got their midfielder that they've been waiting for all season, and they've got their centre back, and they've got their blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, City win 15 in a row. They win the league title. There's always something for stepping on your opponent's throat when he's almost dead. We have to put. They're in the coffin. They're like this. They're in the coffin. We just have to put the nail in, and we just have to bury them because you can't get rid of.
Okay,
this is a war.
You're
getting.
Let me explain this. This is a war. This isn't about maths.
Sure.
This isn't. Hear me out, guys. One second. This isn't about maths. This isn't about how much we're ahead of Man City now. And hey, look, we're playing amazing, and they're playing like shit. You can't allow them to get some breathing room. You simply can't. You have to take advantage of every single time they drop points. And if you have a chance to add 3 points to yourself and keep them as is, you have to take that chance, because when they do go spend money in January, when they do go on that winning run of 10 games, it's going to be too late. Remember the 2019-2020 season? I'll give you 2 examples. 2 managers beat Pep Guardiola to league titles when he had ready-made teams to win the league. Mourinho and Klopp. Both ran away with it. You can't do this whole, I'm like 1 win, I can afford here a loss, I can afford here a draw, blah, blah. You have to run away with it. And that's
It's
my
the
logic.
only way. It's the only way you can beat the City juggernaut is by just blowing them out of the water and putting yourself so far ahead that they just lose morale and they just go, you know what, we can't get there. And the thing with Slot, and this is and this is a massive difference. There's no emotion. He's got no skin in the game. He's got no previous with Manchester City. Like it's just another game. It's just another football match. And he sat there and he's looked at games with Manchester City this season. And you know for a fact he's working out their weak points. And their weak point this season is their midfield. And Ange Postecoglou just worked it out perfectly. Just outrun them, out-tackle them. Don't let them get on the ball. Don't let them have any possession. Just smother that midfield. And Manchester City are done. And they've got a lot of players that are past the age of 30 and have had a huge amount of games in their legs over the last couple of years where they're playing 60 games a season with very rarely getting injured in that midfield. And that's what we're going to do. We've got young, fit, hungry midfielders who are putting in 12 to 15 kilometres each game in the midfield. And they look fit and they look fast and they outswamped Real Madrid. And they'll do exactly the same to Manchester City. And what I want Manchester City to be in a position where they just look at the table and go, there's nothing we can do here.
It's too much. Yes. Thank you. That's the point. It's too much.
Yes. But okay.
And if we can make that happen early December, wow. That's something special. It really is.
I'm not gonna fall into this. I'm not talking about the title. I don't care about it. I don't care about the race. It's November 29th, 2024. I don't talk about the title until March. I say it all the time. But if you're going to force me, I'll say, sure, yeah, we look like the favorites. But when it comes to this game, I think that it's a paradox for Manchester City. And I think that the way that they set up is going to be paramount to how well we play. Because they can't go toe-to-toe with us in the midfield, right? Their midfield is washed. They're way too old. And all three of our guys are just in prime form. Curtis Jones is fantastic. Gravenberch is most in form in the league. And Alexis Macallister can essentially get loose up front.
You agree that's the three that should start the Sunday
100%. 100%. Macallister can become free, right? To me, where I have seen the most trouble against us is when teams press us effectively. What did Real Madrid not do? Real Madrid were passive in midfield and they let us control the ball in our own half. They didn't press. And when they attacked us on the counter, they did not match our numbers. If Manchester City come out and they press and they really buy into this game, hey, none of the season matters. I need you to press. I need you to make it uncomfortable for them. I need you to make it so that they have to start playing long balls. And when we've had to revert to that this season, we have not played well. Arsenal did it fantastically against us. Brighton did it superbly in the whole first half against us. Ipswich Town were immense in that first half against us. But the difference between those teams and City is that those teams can't do it for 90 minutes. Manchester City can. If they couldn't do it for 90 minutes, they would not have won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. So if Pep comes in here and he plays pragmatic football and he plays scared like Carlo Ancelotti does, we're just going to put our foot on your throat. We will control the ball in your half for the entire game. You will get counters that will amount to nothing, and eventually we will score. But if they come out and they press us and they make life uncomfortable, this is going to be an end-to-end football game, which is kind of what I'm feeling like is going to happen.
And that's why, Mike, and that's why, just to add to your point, that's why when I was going and talking about Kwanzaa, which is why I said I might want Kwanzaa in that game, because if they're going to go and press in certain areas, we've seen it with Joe Gomez before, if they press and Liverpool resort to just going long and Núñez starts to become isolated and Salah starts to get isolated because we're trying to catch them on transition, and City just are able to get the ball and recycle, our legs aren't going to matter. Our legs only matter when we're in transition. So we need to catch them in transition, which means that...
But there is a very specific caveat. My bad, Jamie. Just one more small point. This City team, this City midfield right now, they don't I don't believe that they have the legs to press for 90 minutes. So I think that what's paramount for City is they come out and they start this game 110 miles an hour. They press the shit out of us for the first 45 minutes, and they do everything that they can to get as many goals and as many chances as possible in that first half, because they're not going to be able to press for more than 60. So to me, if I'm Arne Slot, control possession, be calm. Like if you need to recycle, recycle. If you need to play long ball, play long ball. But just don't give up odd man rushes. Don't allow Erling Haaland to have, free runs into the box. And if you need to make this game where we get to the 60th minute and City's legs are gone and they can't press anymore, and then you want to start putting the pressure on, that's fine. But I think that City really only have one way to come at us, and that's destroy us at the beginning.
Before Jamie goes, but just I want to ask your question on it. I know that you think they can't press us, but do you think we can go possession for possession with City?
I'm not fully confident.
Even with their midfielders, even though they ain't got the legs, do you think?
I don't think it matters if we let them have possession. We did it with Chelsea and we still beat them.
I mean, listen, I think, are we capable of doing it? Sure. Like we're capable. Have we proven that we can go and perform at our best while being pressed like that consistently? No. Like right now, my biggest concerns is when teams effectively press against us, because then we look toothless, right? And it's only until they stop pressing and they begin to kind of let their foot off the gas pedal a little bit, just like Arsenal did. I mean, look at that first half. How many attacks did Arsenal completely flub? They had counter after counter after counter after counter, and they just sucked. If they were a team of better quality, they would have put us away.
I think the difference that City offer, before Jamie goes, is Arsenal, the period that they were in, they gave us the ball. So they were catching us at our own game in terms of transition. So we've got the ball, we're in their half, we make a mistake with a pass, bang, they're onto us, or they play Saka in behind really, really quickly, or Havertz makes a run. Chelsea did the same thing where the onus was on Liverpool to have the ball. You have the ball, we're going to catch you. As soon as we get it, we're going to find, do you know what I mean, Sancho. I remember Sancho's just finding Sancho over like 60, 70-yard pass onto his feet. Sancho's 1v1, do you know what I mean, in the box, do you know what I mean? And it goes out of play, but that's my point. I feel like City, you can't try to do the possession thing against City. See, I mean, I think that's the reason why Arteta's even had success with City recently, is the fact that Arteta said, you know what, I can't go possession for possession. I'm from your, do you know what I mean? I'm a disciple of yours. I'm just going to have to go mad defensive and ultimately just go and stifle what you're doing. If we try to, I think this would be a similar game to Arsenal, because if we try to go and say we're going to try and dominate possession against City, it'd be the first time I've ever seen a team dominate the possession game and the slow build-up game against City. I think the only way we can go and, again, capitalize on the fact they haven't got legs is to make the game, and it goes back to a point, control, but in transition, it's got to be like Aston Villa. You've got to get back to front in 4 or 5 seconds. And I think that's what Liverpool will be working on, because every goal that Feyenoord scored, every goal that Sporting have scored, every goal that Spurs scored was in transition. Problem is, they're going to dominate the ball from the offset. And it goes back to Rak's point. If they score first, same way, and I know Feyenoord, for me, that's an anomaly. But with Rak, as he said, if they score if they go and score against Spurs first, that game looks completely different. Do you know what I mean? Haaland misses his chances, all of a sudden Spurs score and the game changes. If Haaland gets a shot off and it goes in the back of the net, or Savinho scores in the first 20, it's a long day for Liverpool, because now Liverpool are chasing the game. And City, that's what City want. City want you to be chasing the game, because as soon as you come out, bang, 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 the triangle start popping around, and Haaland's going to get chance after chance after chance. And that's my worry for me. Hence why I'm not as confident as some of you guys about the result. Maybe I'm just apprehensive. I don't know.
Last
I'm going to cook your ass
battered
next week when we win 4-1. Just
Go on, Jay.
battered them at Anfield last season. Remember that one.
What's
That's
that?
still going to be in their minds. We battered them at Anfield last season.
We did.
It will be.
Apparently, Klopp is not a manager. He just shouts at the players. We had more possession, more shots, more shots on target, more corners, more passes, more accurate passes. But Klopp is not a tactician, guys. Klopp just shouts at the players pre-game.
Everything that Jerry just said is true, but it's all dependent on the way that City approach the game. I think that the way they approach the game is far more important than the way we approach the game. Because if they play pragmatic football and scared football like Real Madrid, you bet your fucking ass we can control possession and dominate this team.
I think they will.
If they play scared, we can do it.
Pep is genuinely worries that we could go and batter them.
I
at
don't.
Anfield.
I don't think there's nothing for him to be worried about.
He's probably just watched the Real Madrid game and gone.
Yeah, but it's not.
Oh,
But
crap.
listen, but you're not understanding. They've gone on the back of winning 4 titles, right? It's a 4-peat, back to back to back to back to back.
I get that, but they haven't been great at Anfield. But they haven't been great at Anfield for a long time.
But this is my point. It's bigger than Anfield right now. Their issues are bigger than just a single solitary game at Anfield.
I don't know.
They're looking at that game. They're looking at that game thinking, and Pep's going to look at that game thinking, there's no real pressure on us. We need to go and invest in January anyway. Cool. He's going to tell them it doesn't matter. You just need to go and play your game. And when the pressure's off, City are going to play. And I'm telling you, they're not coming to go.
11 points behind if he loses.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They could be 50 points behind the losers. Do you think any of them are under pressure at that club? Do you think
we ain't
any of them are under
dropping
pressure?
11 points.
Huh? Pardon?
We ain't going to drop 11 points.
It's done. You think Guardiola's looking at it like, oh, we're still trying to win.
That's why we need to step on their throat, and a draw is not acceptable.
100%. I agree. I don't think a draw is good enough. I think I know what's going to happen in the game. I think that your people are looking at it like City are going to come, tell between their legs, like Arsenal under flipping Wenger near the end, under Ljungberg, and be like, here you go, destroy us, pants open. Yeah, do you know what I mean? We're ready for the taking. You're talking. You think De Bruyne didn't start on a Feyenoord just by accident? They're prepping for this game, and this is a game again. As for Sam, as you said, they're gonna know if we win this game, it kickstarts our season, like you said. That's gonna be the narrative. It's not about the draw; it's about the win. And I don't think, and even if they don't go and win the game, they're gonna look to go and make sure they put a performance in there, thinking this team's not that good. And for me, I find it really interesting because Slot's someone that likes to dominate possession in that slow manner, that slow kind of build-up. How do you do that against City? That's my worry. The teams that beat City, like you alluded to with Klopp, is in transition. It's got to be back to front. It's got to be transition. How do you go and beat Guardiola at his own game? This is what I keep going to. You're setting up your team to go and beat Guardiola at something that he's the don at. Do you know what I mean? He's the one that's done the inverted fullback. So you can't. If you do that, he knows how to combat that. You want to go and drop your 6 into a back 3? All right, cool. I know how to do that.
You're talking more tactically, which I understand, but I'm talking more like mentally right now. I think they're mentally
me as well. Yeah,
I think City are mentally fried, but here's how I look at it. I think at this moment in time, Liverpool still score most of their goals in transition. That's how Liverpool score most of their goals. I think Pep will know that, and I think he'll allow Liverpool to have a majority of the ball.
I can never see that.
And then City, because he did it one time when they almost won the game with Mahrez in the penalty. And I'm just wondering if he'll do that again and let Liverpool have the majority of the ball, but you use their counter-attack to hurt Liverpool. I think Jack Grealish will play. I think Foden and Silvinho and Haaland will be like the front four for Man City, and I think he'll let Liverpool have the ball and try and counter on Liverpool. That is one setup he could try. The other one is he might just go for our throat straight away. Like if you actually watch Man City all season, Man City get after every team for the first 15 or 20 minutes.
But they're just not finishing chances.
They can't put the ball in the back of the net because if Haaland don't score, no one else is. Against Tottenham, let's be fair here, they should have been 2-0 up after 10 minutes.
Exactly.
That should have been 2-0 up. Yeah, it would have been a totally different game. But I think the problem they've got, if Haaland's not scoring, no one is. And that's their issues right now. And because of the effort that City have put in the last 2 years, getting that treble and then doing the 4-peat, I don't care how technically good you are as a footballer, how great you are as a footballer. That is mentally draining. I think there was times last season that City team wanted to win that 4-peat so bad, even if they were behind in games, they found something to go and win them a game of football. Now, I look at this City team and I feel like that's not quite there at the moment. That same drive and hunger is not quite there at the moment. Also, what's not being spoke about is how shit their transfer windows have been the last couple of years. And their players are aging together. So it's going to be a very interesting. I think it's going to be a tactical battle
Yeah.
on Sunday. I
What?
think this ain't Liverpool will win at the end because I just feel like City will tire and Liverpool's fresher legs will take advantage of it.
I agree with
it'll be
everything that
tight.
you're saying, Jamie. I agree with everything that you're saying. For me, just the biggest worry is like the feeling I'm getting is people are writing off City because of recent games, and you cannot do that. We've seen it with Liverpool, even in the season when we were rubbish, we were terrible a couple seasons ago. When we turned up against the big boys, look at. Do you know what I mean? In certain games, Liverpool all of a sudden look back to their best, and you're like, oh my god, this can kickstart our season. Now you might have that poor game, and if they don't back it up and they lose the next game or drop points, you can still talk about them being fried. But this is a game that they're going to be. Can you imagine that change room after that Feyenoord game? And if there's any team that's going to have a response, I look at City to be able to go and come back with a response.
But I expected them to have a response 6 times in a row, of which they have had none.
The problem they've got as well, they can't trust their bench. Like when they bring subs
and
on,
even the Wednesday night
subs
game,
on, they don't do anything.
But also, but he's like,
even the Tuesday night game, Vel asked me which watch along you want to do. Me and Mo, even on MHF, we mocked it. We're like, bro, like, can we be serious? City are obviously going to beat Feyenoord. We thought that was going to be the Kickstarter, Jerry. And then they were 3-0 up. And I'm like, see, the Kickstarter is here. And then 15 minutes later, it's 3-3. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I think everything you're saying is completely logical from a football perspective. But I'm just going purely on mental right here. They remind me of themselves in 2019, 2020, and us after the quadruple charge season, where we just kind of like, everyone just didn't give a fuck, to be honest with you, that year. It was just complete complacency. Like, you just, and by the way, it's kind of similar issues because there's like no new faces. Nunes and Savinho were playing at the same level. Like, Nunes that year was as shit as Savinho is now. So, like, it's nothing new. Like, we've seen this, to be honest with you. So, like, I feel like they're just mentally destroyed, which is why I want to bury them, to be honest with you.
We have, like, if that would be the ideal scenario. That's what in my heart that needs to happen. I don't know, man. There's too many fans are talking about.
I just want to see Liam Gallagher cry.
Okay, but like let all those Jerry just let all those people.
Let all the fans go away.
Let them all spout shit, because ultimately, like, we're talking about something that is a microcosm. Like, Arne Slot has never faced Pep Guardiola for Liverpool and Manchester City. Like, I'm not expecting this to be the same, Liverpool versus Man City games of old. Like, just like how that Liverpool game against Real Madrid, like, that's not how I expected it to go down. Like, even with Real Madrid so hurt, I didn't expect them to just completely dominate the midfield and hold the ball in their half for 11 straight minutes. Like, so to me, I can't really go into this game with any expectations, because I've seen the way, like, how robotic Arne Slot is, the way that he talks about these games, the way that he talks to the press about, like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is just a football game. I don't care about walking over and clapping the fans after and giving my fist pumps. Like, I'm a stand right in front of the dugout. I'm gonna clap you up. I'm gonna say thanks for the tickets. I'll see you next week. Like, I'm gonna wait until the end of the season before I run up there and start doing all the fist pumps, which is what I want, right? And so, knowing that, if that's the mentality of the manager, that's going to start to seep into the players. And at this point in the season, that sort of mentality has definitely started to come, right? And we're at the very last game of that 8-game run that I sat here and said at the beginning of the summer. It's like, once we get to the end of this, seeing how we do, that's how I will determine what this season will go through. And so far, we've only drawn to Arsenal. And like, at one end, you can say that Arsenal could have done more. But at another end, you could have said, like, we could have won that game. Like, if we didn't take our foot off the gas at the end of that game, we could have gotten 3 points there. So with me, I feel like if there's ever a time where you could beat Man City at their own game, it's when they're this down. It's when Pep is facing a foe that he has never faced before. And it's when we are at our absolute most confident going into this game. And if we can do it, unbelievable. And then all of a sudden it becomes a question of, well, now we can't say that because someone has beaten City at their game. And, no one's a Titan forever. No one is invincible forever, right? Eventually, Mike Tyson lost. Eventually, Floyd Mayweather had to retire and start doing cheap fights in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, everything comes to an end. Is that going to be this Sunday? I don't know. But if there's ever a time where I would feel confident at being able to outpossess City and win, it would be this Sunday.
Psychologically,
Thing is,
as well,
I'm not expecting us
one
to
more
go
thing.
flawless.
Sorry, mate. One
Go
more
ahead.
thing. Psychologically, this has to be in Pep's head as well now, because he's just played Arnie Slot's old team. And they came back from 3-0 down to equalise. That's got to be in his head. And now he's going to play Arnie Slot. Like, there's, you know what Pep does? Pep does these mad things as well, doesn't he, when he's under pressure, and he ends up throwing the game away because he ends up outthinking himself and coming up with some crazy tactic. And Slot even said it in the press conference, like he wouldn't be surprised if Pep just came up with this mad tactic in the game. And let's just hope he does. Let's hope he doesn't bring
That's
any
why
on.
I'm saying, listen,
Brings
I don't
his
think
players out in
every
the
single
game.
game to the end of the season
Yeah.
is must win. Not every single game, just this one Sunday specifically. Obviously, we're gonna drop points at some point in time. We're gonna lose at some point in time. I
Self-harming as
understand.
well, you know.
Yeah, but like not this game though. This is the one game where you just have to bury them. That's just my honest opinion. Anyway, let me just do these super chats before we wrap up the stream because it's way past Raks's bedtime. Big up to Nafisa who says Inshallah a draw. Big up Hussam, the rest of the panel, and my favorite Raks. Smile, Raks. See, there's people who are watching this show purely for you. See, be happy instead of being sleepy, my brother. But big up to you regardless. Thank you so much, Nafisa, for the super chat. On a serious note, Jamie is right. Pep won't go 7 games without 1 win. But we also said Pep isn't going to go 4 without 1 win, and isn't going to go 5 without 1, and isn't going to go 6 without 1 win. So let's make it 7, you know? And
Quick question.
maybe the 8th one he can win.
Would you be surprised if Liverpool didn't win? If
Yes.
City won, would you be shocked, or would you be like,
Yes, of course.
I'd be shocked.
Okay.
It would be worse than Nottingham Forest beating us.
Based on form, I would be shocked.
I'd be shocked.
Bro, Feyenoord, they couldn't beat Feyenoord. We have
That
to.
was also at home, and so was Tottenham. Like those games were at home. Those
Do
weren't
you
away
think-
from home.
I get what everyone's saying, yeah, and I agree with you.
Winning 3-0.
I think we will.
75th minute.
I
Jesus.
think we will win. I think we will win, yeah. But when you go and put through a bad patch and it's really bad, and then you come against the best team in the land right now, it does pep players up. It does sort of like, and like
Southampton, innit?
look, we've gone through it as Liverpool fans for when we've gone through a crap spell, and then somehow we beat a prime Man United out of nowhere. So I do think City will be more up for this game and more aware of this game. I still think Liverpool will win. I just think it'll be very close. That's all.
I hear you. For this game, Kelleher starts over Becker. Also, he's been ready to be made first choice keeper for LFC. Wouldn't sell him, but if he was to go to Barca, would be good choice for him. Thoughts? Kelleher deserves to play. First of all, I do think most of us here would agree that I'm not gonna rush Alisson back for this game. I'm gonna allow Kelleher to continue his form, obviously, because he's in elite form. And Kelleher does deserve to be a starting goalkeeper for an unbelievable side. It's funny because I saw a Chelsea fan 2 days ago saying he wouldn't take Kelleher. I don't know what he's smoking, to be honest with you, because
He'd walk into most teams in the Premier League, to be fair.
yeah, he'd start teams in
What
Premier
about the
League.
Barca bit? Where's the Barca thing come from? That's the bit that kind of stuck out to me.
They
Like,
go-
I don't want
goalies
Kelleher
out
to
for
go
the season.
anywhere. I don't want him to go anywhere.
No,
I don't
well.
either, because we're Liverpool fans, but at the end of the day, from his perspective, he probably want to start somewhere, to be honest with you. So that's what I'm
the
saying.
good thing
like,
is his form and the hype that's built up around him in the last maybe 7 or 8 games. It's probably added 10 million to his price. Yeah, look, Mike's doing it.
I already know.
His form
I
is
know
out.
you don't want to hear it, guys, but he's our first choice goalkeeper next season. I know you don't want to hear it.
His form is
That's never going to happen.
his form is great,
Slot's
but
got
at the
no
end of
skin
the
in the
day,
game. Slot's got no skin in the game, and he's playing out of his skin right now. Slot
I don't think
will reward him.
But
next
it's
season.
not about whether we want to hear it or not. I just don't think Slot will do it, to be honest with you.
I think Alisson goes straight back in when he's
I
ready.
just don't think Liverpool. I just don't think any club
I agree with you.
should have a second choice goalkeeper that needs to be a first choice goalkeeper because they can't rely on their first choice goalkeeper being fit. I just think that's a crazy way to run your club. Like,
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with
You
you.
need to have
But
a
I'm saying
reliable first choice goalkeeper.
I'm saying from Slot's perspective, I think when Alisson's ready, he'll probably step back in. But do I think Alisson's ready already? No. I think Alisson probably step in for Newcastle, to be fair.
I'm
fact
interested to see
that
how
stuff's
this
coming
actually
out.
pans out next season, because I can see a scenario where Alisson leaves perhaps to go to get a payday somewhere or something like that. But then
Back to Brazil.
Then,
Have
but
you
then
heard
who
the
becomes?
interview?
But then who becomes
You
the
heard the
number
interview?
one? No,
Kelleher.
I didn't. No, that's the thing.
Alisson
But
said in his interview he'd go back to play for International. Like he'd go back to his old club.
Internazionale. I think
Why are you
he's
saying
gonna go
that?
to the Middle East and get a whole lot of money, to be honest with you. But anyway, regardless, big up to you, Abdullah, for the super chat. Thank you. Big up to Nafisa again, says this sounds like Manchester United game last year where fans were confident you were gonna pump Man United, but it was a 0-0 draw. Yeah, but even Man United didn't lose six in a row, even under 10 Hag, to be honest. So, this is the problem with this.
We ain't comparing last year to this year. Two different managers. We've turned the page. It's a new Liverpool, new team.
I have one fear, and only one fear for this Sunday,
Yeah,
and it's our left winger and it's our striker. I just want them to turn the fuck up. That's it. Diaz, Nunez, listen, I've already made peace in Colombia, so I'm good now. But these two right here, please turn the fuck up. I beg you, please turn up and score if needed. Please don't be played through on goal and then hit it straight at Ederson. That's the one thing we don't need, or just shoot it to the corner flag. So, yeah, those two turn up, we win the game. And by the way, every time we expect Diaz to cook a right back, he doesn't. Case in point, Carvajal, Champions League final. Beating two reigning Champions League back-to-back winners is huge, must-win game. But of course, those already, we have started a cult. We're the leopard and the tree. The leopard and the tree cult. Show your face in the chat.
You have started this. I don't know where this has come from, but it's you that's pushing this. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's.
I fully started this, and I'll tell you why. Igal admitted on the terrace he's building us up to break us down. Igal fully admitted it publicly, and I'm just not going to play this rival game of Liverpool. You must. I'm not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be top of Champions League and Premier League by December. Says who? Based on what? No one expected this. Not the most positive person in the world expected this. And now you're telling me Liverpool, you must? 3 months into the season? Have some shame. You told me we're finished after club. I'm who's negative said that we're going to challenge for the league. And they laughed at me. So now I'm not going to fall for your bullshit narratives. Until we're 15 points ahead in March, I'll say we're favorites then. Now we're the leopard in the tree. Let's go. I said it on TV. I'll say it on YouTube. To Man City. Salam, brother. Can I ask the same favor from before? There you are. There you are. Hold on. But you know, Arsenal fans, it's very funny with you, Nafisa, and Arsenal fans. If City are a bigger threat than Liverpool, surely you'd want Liverpool to beat City then. If you're more worried about Man City, you should want us to beat them because we're going to fall off anyway, right? That's why we're the leopard in the tree. I'm never going to let that go. Ever. Hold that, Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans, by the way, have been declared today as the hyenas. They're the loudest, to be fair, so it makes sense. I watch a lot of National Geographic. I'm sure you guys can tell. You know, big up to Chelsea, the meerkats in the bush. Big up to Red Indian, who says, I think City will slow it down and at the start and waste a bit of time, frustrate the crowd a bit, come back in the second half to try to score and defend. And then he says, don't want to see the ref at all this game. Oh my God.
We didn't talk about them, did we? We didn't talk about the Manchester officials, all of them.
Or about how terrible they were against Real Madrid.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about them. We don't need to now. We take that out of the game. Yeah.
Honestly, fuck the Premier League referees. Genuinely.
Listen, I have it in my foresight. We're gonna be up. We're gonna be draw 1-1, and then Erling Haaland is gonna Superman kick Darwin Núñez in the face in the 95th minute, and they're gonna say no penalty. And then it's gonna end a draw.
That's a scenario and a half right there. But knowing how
I'm more than happy with it. I'm more than happy with
last year.
I goal off Núñez to win the game. More than happy with that.
Yes. I take a Gomez 1-0 winner.
I don't care how shit the game is, as long as we win. I don't care.
Gomez.
I'm definitely in agreement with you.
Imagine
big up to every single one of you guys. This has been an absolutely unbelievable show.
That'd be great, Jerry. Might put £1 on it.
What, Joe Gomez winner?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but a la Company versus Leicester when he slaps it into the top
Oh
corner.
wow!
If Joe
From
Gomez
Orsiana.
scores the winner, if Joe Gomez scores the winner, I'll say that we're going to win the quad.
The quad, not the league.
Yeah, no, we're if Joe Gomez scores a screamer winner, we're winning every single competition, and we're gonna concede less than 18 goals in the Prem. We're not gonna be touched. It's season over. Go home, play FIFA. There's no point in watching.
We'll probably end up winning Space Jam as well. The universe competition that they play. That'll probably turn up as well. Aliens will turn up and we'll play them.
I'm not saying you must for the Premier League at all, but Hussam, brother, you must this Sunday. Yeah, I agree that we must this Sunday, but we agree since you say we must. It's not a must for the Premier League, but regardless, as the shameless Arsenal fan that you are, Nafisa, if you do think City is a bigger threat, then surely you would want them to win. I mean, it's very straightforward and obvious what we're saying here, to be honest with you. So,
if we win the Champions League, do we go to America this summer for the Club World Cup?
No, it's the one after we go to.
That's so dumb.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
That's so dumb.
Weird. I heard apparently they don't even have like a broadcast partner for it yet, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Real Madrid are playing their under-19s in it by the looks of it.
BN Sport will probably buy it at some point.
I heard it might go on Netflix.
What? I mean, every single game's just going to be buffering. No one's going to be able to watch.
Oh my!
That's crazy. Hussam's flyby comments are elite. Chelsea are meerkats. Hey, I can do the rest of the teams as well. Arsenal, hyenas. City, the lion. Us, the leopards. By the way, for the people who think like it's an insult to be a leopard, the leopard is the most efficient hunter in the jungle, just so everyone knows. Because I'm gonna take that meal. I'm gonna climb to the tree. No one gonna catch me. So don't let the leopard steal the lion's kill this Sunday. Arsenal fans are the hyenas because they're the loudest and they're always grouped together. Man United are the warthogs. Chelsea are the meerkats. We could go on, to be honest with you. Spurs are the jackals. It's elite. No one is laughing on the panel because no one here watched National Geographic. Big up to you, Nafisa. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. I'm gonna be back inshallah tomorrow I haven't made my mind up, but probably 2 hours before the Arsenal game, inshallah. Big up to every single one of you guys. Tiger is the real king of the jungle anyway. Doesn't matter because you're the hyena anyway, Nafisa. But thank you for the super chat, Habib. Big up to you, Nafisa. Thank you so much. Doubles in the chat for Nafisa for showing us so much support this stream. Big up to Nafisa. Big up to everyone in the stream. Tomorrow I'm going to be back, inshallah, probably 2 hours. Guys, why every time I want to wrap up, khalas, no need super chats anymore. I want to fucking end the stream. Guys,
keep the money.
On the stream. Big up to Connor says, can both teams lose on Sunday? No, Connor, Bradley, both teams can't lose on Sunday. So you're going to have to hold that as an Arsenal fan and sit there like a fraud and watch Liverpool beat Man City. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Anyway, I'm going to be back, inshallah, tomorrow, 2 hours before the Arsenal game. Then I'm going to do the Arsenal West Ham watch along. Jamie Phillips Football Chats is in the description. Go subscribe to his channel, please. Go subscribe to Kmack's channel. It is in the description as well. Go subscribe to Mike Das LFC. One day he will make a football stream. So go subscribe.
Relax.
You made the one FIFA stream. Have some shame. Go follow Rak on Twitter, Nafisa, and DM him. He is single, I can confirm. So please do DM him. And go subscribe to Jerry James's football channel as well. It's also in the description. Go subscribe to all these guys, man, and show them love. Can I end it? Yes, I can. Love you all and see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace.
Nunes.